welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually joined by Mandy, who's like a real life client of mine. Real life. So I just thought I would, like, as a makeup artist, it is so important to kind of be versatile and work, like, all your clients are going to be different. Like, you're going to get old, young, you're going to get black skin, white skin, and it's so important as a makeup artist to be able to work with all types of skin. So I asked Mandy to come and do a Mother of the Bride look. Mandy is so beautiful, she has the most amazing skin, so my job is so easy today. But I thought I'd just show you guys how to work on slightly more mature skin. Anyway guys, stay tuned to see how I created this look. So first I'm going to start on the skin, and I'm going to be using the Mermaid Skin Serum by Tarte. And I just basically want this makeup to stay a long time. Obviously if you're Mother of the Bride as well, you want to look flawless all day. And you're keeping this makeup on until tomorrow, aren't you?
I am.
You always do this as well?
Yes, I do. Because you do such a wonderful job, Katie, that it seems a shame really to just take it all off.
Oh, do you know, I had one client that kept it on for like 4 days once. I was like, oh my God, just wash your face, babe. Amazing. And then to moisturise the skin, I'm just going to be taking the Oxygentics, and I'm just going to buff that all over just to hydrate the skin. It's really important when working on slightly more mature skin that you're really hydrating the skin, because what you don't want is you don't want the makeup sitting in any fine lines. Not like you have fine lines, but you just don't want it sitting, you know, there's nothing worse, is there?
Well, it's one of the reasons I don't like wearing a lot of makeup, because if you're not careful, it ages me. And
it sits in the wrong places.
Yeah. No,
100%. And it's quite easy to, on slightly more mature skin, it's really easy to look older with makeup because it just looks heavy and horrible. And also, so I often use, did you use this mask?
I haven't got around to it.
Oh my God, okay, looking at it. Do it.
Shall I do it?
Do it. So I'm just going to put these underneath the eyes. So occasionally on clients, I also use these eye masks, and this is just to really hydrate underneath the eyes. And these are the ones by Rodial. It just really hydrates underneath the eyes and basically stops the makeup creasing, and it will make the makeup just sit slightly nicer. So what I do is, while I'm working on the eyes, I just put these underneath just to let it soak in. And we'll come back in a minute and we're going to take them off.
That feels fabulous.
Doesn't it? They feel amazing.
Is it a face mask? You put all over? Yeah.
These are just eyes.
So when I take my makeup off after 4 days, I'll put it on then.
yeah, dude, your skin will feel amazing. So Mandy's actually had her eyebrows tattooed. Have you had them microbladed?
No, I haven't. And they were tattooed, I think, over a year ago.
Really?
So they're getting pretty dull now. They need to be redone, really.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder and just fill it in. So if you have any clients that have got like microblading, or they've had their eyebrows tattooed, you can literally just go over it just to give it a slightly more warmer, natural colour, because I feel like, you know, when you get them dyed and it wears off, Mandy, the colour goes a bit, doesn't it? So it's kind of just putting that colour back and just making it a little bit more natural. So to prep the eye, I'm just going to be taking the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof. As Mandy's going to be using this makeup for a few days,
I am.
I need to make sure this stays. And you also, it's really good, you just want to make sure this doesn't crease at all, so which is why I'm going to be prepping the eyelids properly. And also guys, don't be scared to use a lot of product. We are going to go over it with shadow, so it doesn't matter at all if you're using a little bit more than normal. So now I've just prepped the eyes, I'm just going to take these away. I just don't want them getting dry, so I'm just going to peel them off. And then I'm just going to moisturise some of that product underneath the eyes.
Oh, it feels divine.
These are so nice. And then whilst I'm just finishing off priming the skin, so I've serum to moisturise, and also I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier foundation primer. And that's enough skin prep to really make the makeup last. Is your skin quite good at making makeup last? Yes and no?
I don't really know, because I don't wear a lot of makeup. You know,
only with events?
Ordinarily I don't wear anything. In fact, I really considered coming here today without anything on, and I thought, oh, I might scare the horses.
So I'm going to be, this is the palette I always use on you. So we'll go for like a kind of like a warm bronzy smoky eye. And so I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, and I'm going to go first in with Rustic. You just close your eyes for me, and I'm going to be just buffing that into the crease. So I'm just going to be, I'm using my 217 by MAC, and I use 217 with everything. When it comes to shadows, I think they're the best brushes to use. I have about 8 of them in my kit, and sometimes if you find that it's not sitting right and it's sitting in any lines or anything, just lift up the lid slightly and just blend that out. So then I'm going to be taking the shade Sienna, and just close for me, Mandy. And I'm just going to be buffing Sienna into the corners and buffing it outwards. So if you just open for me, we just want to get it blended enough so you get a beautiful fade. And just close for me. So it's slightly darker in the corners and then it fades into light. I'm just going to do that on the other side as well. I'm just going to go back in with the Rustic, which is the first colour we use, and I'm running that along the bottom. And then likewise that we did at the top, I'm going to go in with the Sienna, the slightly darker shade, and just run that into the corner. So then I'm going to be taking my Charlotte Tilbury Beat Cream shadow, and just close for me. And I'm just going to apply that where we didn't apply any shadow. I just kind of blend it kind of in the centre, in the corner of the eye across. This is literally my favourite eyeshadow. You just said it, you love it as well, don't you? And I just find the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, they're so light in texture, they don't crease, which is what we basically want to completely avoid. Then we're taking my Nude by Nature, so this is just like a brown kohl pencil, and I'm just going to be running that along the lashes. On mature clients, you don't want to be using like black gel liners, anything that's too harsh, because immediately you're just going to age them, and it's not going to sit right. What you want is you want something really diffused, and that's going to help their eyes look brighter, and obviously make them look younger and more fresh. But anything that's black harsh lines, I would just completely avoid. And open and look down for me that way, and this way, and then I'm just going to take the kohl pencil and just put it into the corner as well. And that just helps to like diffuse the lash line. So if you just look down for me, I'm just going to be curling the lashes. We are going to be applying false lashes as well. So when you go in to curl lashes, what you want to do, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, sorry.
What you want to do is, as a makeup artist, you want to go in with confidence. I know it's so tricky to go into curl people's lashes, but what you don't want to go is and hesitate, because then your client will hesitate and pull back, trust me. So if you look down for me, so when you're curling lashes, just make sure you lift the lid slightly and then just press down just to get a really nice curl. Okay, and just look down for me. So I'm just going to be using the Full Exposure Mascara by Smashbox. But you do have great lashes.
Oh, thank you.
Because sometimes as people go, oh, they lose them all. So next I'm going to be taking my individual lashes. So I'm just going to go in with some short ones first. So I do about 4 short ones, and then I'm going to do some mini ones just in the corner, and look down for me. I'm just applying the glue on the back of my hands. So I take the tweezers, and I just add a little bit of glue, and I just ask my client to look down, and I just place them in. What the key with these is to make sure that the space between each lash is the same, because on both eyes, if their gaps are bigger on one side, it will look like lopsided. The next I'm taking is the mini ultra thick black ones. So basically the others were ultra thick as well, but these ones are slightly shorter, so I don't want the long ones going all across. And just look down for me. So I'm just going to be adding some slightly shorter ones, just so they look a little bit natural. What I don't want is the lashes completely sticking out of Mandy's eyes and kind of like looking fake. We do want that like natural appearance. So I did 4, what is it done? I did 4 short ones, and then I'm doing 3 mini ones. And that way you get a really nice fan effect. And they just, like, honestly, they just do look so natural. So for the skin, I'm going to be using the Light Wonder by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to be using this in shade 7. Mandy's got incredible skin, so we don't want anything too heavy, and also I don't think, for like Mother of the Bride, you don't want to be caking them in lots of makeup. I think like I said earlier, it does age them, and B, you just don't want it sitting in all the right places. So when you are working on like a mother of a bride, I would definitely go for like a tinted moisturiser, and then if you needed slightly more coverage, you can go in with a concealer on certain areas after. For concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Concealer, and I'm just going to be using my Beauty Blender from Tarte. These are amazing for precision, and the reason I'm using this is because I just really want to work the product in the skin so it doesn't sit on top of the creases and look creasy basically. So by just pushing this into the skin and blending it out, I just find the product really gets in there so you don't get the creasing. And it doesn't just sit on top.
I love how you're so firm with that, Katie.
Oh really? When you're working on clients as well, I think it's really important. You should never go down. You should always go up, because a client wants to be lifted rather than like dragged down. Just to set the skin, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Translucent. I don't want to be using anything that's full coverage that can age Mandy at all. So I'm just going to do a light dusting all over and just on the forehead. But I think the key is, especially when you're working with a mother and bride, you don't want the whole skin looking really matte. So obviously once you've set the concealer underneath and around the mouth, just do a really light dusting, but it's still okay to look a little bit kind of like shiny and healthy in certain places, because that is super youthful. So to add a little bit of warmth into the face, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Cream Contour in Light. You just go to the side for me, and I'm just going to be blending it underneath. And once again, I'm using cream, so this is just going to blend perfectly into the Wonder Glow by Charlotte Tilbury, rather than it sitting on, like if I were to apply a powder, it would sit on top of the makeup rather than blending in with it. And I'm just going to do a little bit on the forehead too, and then a little bit under here, and you can bring that down towards the neck just to give a little bit of warmth. To add a little bit of colour on the cheeks, I'm going to be taking the Orgasm Liquid Blush by NARS, and I'm just going to just apply it on the apples of the cheeks, and I'm using the same brush as that we did for the contour. And to add a little bit of highlight and glow, I'm just going to be using the Super Orgasm Liquid Highlighter, and I'm just going to go over the cheekbones. I'm just going to put you on the side. I'm just going to go over the blusher and the cheekbones, and you can see you're just going to get that gorgeous, youthful glow. I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil, and I'm just going to be using this in Shade Deep. So Mandy's actually had her, was it a liner that you had tattooed, or was it the whole lip?
It's line and
like a colour?
Like a blush, a colour with a blush. So it had a little light bit in the middle there.
Okay.
There and there.
Just to give a bit of colour.
But it's nearly gone now.
Would you get it redone?
Yeah.
I bet it's amazing for holiday on the pool. You're kind of like,
oh,
done.
I love it. I have to say, I think it's one of the reasons I don't wear a lot of makeup.
Well, because you've got the colour already.
Yeah.
So I've just got around the lips, and I'm also going to go on the whole lip, because it's just going to really help to stay. Because as a mother of bride as well, you don't get a chance to speak to anyone, do you?
No. No.
At your daughter's wedding, I bet you didn't get a chance to speak to anyone.
I could have done the whole thing all over again the next day.
Really though? Did you love it?
I loved it.
So to finish this look, I'm going to be using the Nearly Nude Lip Gloss by Iconic London. And I'm going to apply that with a lip brush. And I also do think gloss is really useful. I would never use a completely matte lipstick on someone like the mother of the bride. I think it sits in wrong places, it bleeds, it doesn't sit right, where I think if you add a gloss, it's useful and fresh. You love your gloss. Mm. And then just to set this makeup, obviously you want the makeup to last all day as much as you can, so I've used this on my channel all the time, and this is the Resting Boss Face by Huda Beauty, and it is quite a strong smell. I think I've used it on you before, and close to me. So
it's a nice smell though.
It's nice, but it's so strong. It smells like Tresemme or like hairspray or something.
Yeah, it's not as bad. Nice.
And so that will just really help your makeup last all day.